When I was a freshman in high school, I had a terrible experience. I, like a lot of women, tend to be attracted to men who need to be fixed or helped in some way. I think it has something to do with motherly instincts. I met a boy named Aaron, who, all the intents and purposes, was nice enough fellow. He was pale, red haired, freckles, and glasses. Looks really didn't matter to me then. Never have. It's what inside that counts. And I thought I could sense what kind of person he was. I honestly can't recall the circumstances of how we actually first met, as this was over 15 years ago. But I do remember the middle and the end vividly. We had been dating for a short time. When you are 14 years old, and in the time period this meant a lot of note writing and doodling to each other. I don't even think we had any classes together, but we'd pass in the halls and eat lunch at the same table. We'd call each other on the phone at night and on weekends. I think we might have even gone to the movies at some point. Aaron was nice enough, quiet and polite, with a good sense of humor. Looking back, I can never remember him being the sort of dark and brooding type. But I don't think my 14-year-old brain understood that. He would say things sometimes that would sort of make me wonder and feel a bit on edge. Things such as, I don't know if I could ever be without you, and please, don't ever leave me. Those sort of things. At the time, I thought it was sweet, and I always felt wanted and needed. Now, however, I can see that this was when it started to go downhill. He'd obsessively call me, write 10 notes a day, and shove 3 in my hand at a time, and follow me around like a puppy. Nothing bad was ever written in the notes, and I never felt threatened or pressured or anything. I think the farthest we actually went physically was kissing, and it was very awkward. At some point, I don't remember when or why, I decided I didn't want to be with him anymore. I told him in a note, and I was very nice about it. It was a long and drawn out, but polite and reassuring. I just didn't want to be with him anymore. This was apparently too much. He spiraled way out of control. The calls and notes tripled and increased in intensity. At one point, I was called into the counselor's office, and he was there. The counselor, bless her, thought that we were in a fight and that Aaron was just upset. I explained to her, and embarrassingly turned to him since he was in the room, that we had broken up. I was very clear, and he finally seemed to get the message. He looked somber and upset, but I didn't worry too much. I mean, I cared for him as a person, but we only dated for a month. At most. How could he be so attached? Some time went by, perhaps a week, and I got called to the counselor's office again. No Aaron this time, but there were several other people in there, including the principal. I was shocked. What had I done? Did something bad happen? I sat down and was told that Aaron had written a letter to me that a teacher had intercepted before he could finish it. In the letter, he had threatened to kill himself if I don't take him back. I was floored. Never before had my tiny 14-year-old brain encountered something so serious. Apparently, Aaron was not stable. He'd been struggling with his personality since puberty and was on medication that I had no idea about. I couldn't believe it. Honestly, he seemed perfectly fine when we spent time together. The counselor asked me if I knew any of this, to which I replied I had no idea. It was even something he was capable of. They asked if I wouldn't mind meeting one-on-one with him to try to help him get out of the mindset he was in. I declined. I never wanted to have to deal with that face to face. They understood and excused me. From what I was told, Aaron was sent home for the week so he could rest and get better. If there was a way to get better from something like that, I have no idea if it was serious with his threats. I never saw him again after, as he was transferred to another school. I don't know if it was due to me or not, but I don't really want to find out. I'm now much better at choosing who I spend my time with, and noticing signs like Aaron displayed regarding mental health. Aaron, I hope you are well and happy, but I don't really ever want to see you again. Okay, I was in the 7th grade. It was towards the beginning of the year. This day started off normal. Got ready for school, went to school, and went to class, just like normal. But around second period, my English class, it was about 11 a.m. So we were about to be dismissed. But right before they could dismiss us, the intercom came on. And the principal basically said that the school was on lockdown. So we all hunkered down in the corner of the classroom, like a lockdown. Turned off the lights and put a special thing over the window. Turned off everything and sat in the corner. From what I heard, the office got a call that someone had a gun and he was in the school. So that entire school went on lockdown. It stayed on lockdown for about 4 hours. The police showed up and searched the school and found no one. They said the call was fake and that it was probably one of the students or some person that was playing a seriously sick joke. It scared me so bad because I was worrying myself because I have 2 younger sisters in the other side of the school and I didn't know if it was fake or real. So I was super upset about that. The police came in to check on us to make sure everything was okay. My younger siblings were taken out of school early that day to calm down and because our parents didn't want us there anymore that day. Sometimes I wonder if the call was real or if it was really a joke. This is something that happened to me a little more recent, and I just wanted to share because it came out of the blue. And a few people wanted to hear this on Twitter, so I said I might as well do this. This is a personal story, and it will might as well will be vlog style recorded. So please, sit back and enjoy. Well, last night I had a really weird dream. I'll start from the beginning what happened. So, we had to take my mom to the hospital. We had 2 trucks. We had her SUV, and then we had a truck that I was so-called driving. It looked like to be a very expensive Ford. So, when I was driving down the road, the vehicle was very hard to fucking control. Like, it would go anywhere and everywhere. It would just, like, go around, and it would, like, flip. Something like GTA. But that's not even the weirdest part. We get to the hospital. It's an old wooden farmhouse with a waiting room in the snow. It's just like snowing, and their waiting room is outside on 2 flimsy poles. It's like, has 2 little poles, and then it has the waiting room up top. It was shaking around everywhere. So after that, we go back home. Here's where it starts getting freaky. We go to this. Let me phrase that. We go back into my house, and my family's there. My cousins and stuff. But then my cousin gets possessed. He appears in some kind of screen in the middle of the living room. And it's kind of weird that happens, but he was put in there. He started wearing red clothing. He had this foreign to ancient language on his bottom lip. And then he had
a goldish, brownish, black spotted animal in his lap, just petting it. After that, my niece comes in. Anyone from the outside, so called, got possessed if they went outside. Even though my cousin, who was fully possessed, inside. So my cousin went out the door. My sister shut and locked the door. She's out there crying, fully not possessed yet. She has tattered and brutalated meat on both sides of her chest. And after that happened, my sister closed the door, locked it, and that's where the dream ends. Nothing else happened after that. So if anyone knows if this was a demon trying to talk to me, please contact me, because stuff like this has happened to me before, and I never really spoke out about it. But I'm finally spoken out about it, and I wanted to know your all's opinion. So please, comments below. I'd like to hear it.